introductions. Tim Allen.
Hi, guys.
We can go ahead and get started.
Tim, I'd like to start because you've got this spread of kids. You've got a daughter who's older and you've got a daughter who's a baby, and I'm wondering how much you see of what you're doing on the show that resonates with you as a dad in real life.
Well, these are very well-behaved kids who's only here for about 20 minutes, you know, and they're really good kids. My kids are good, but these are exceptional because they're actors, and it would be as television often is, it'd be an idyllic situation if you get your conflicts resolved in 22 minutes. Actually, less than that because we got a tag and all the the bumpers and stuff. So it's kind of a wonderful situation. And I can't tell you how much I adore these girls. It's television, and I tend to kind of fall into this and get very attached very quickly. I like this life. I like this house. I like this job. It's just like Home Improvement. I really adored those boys, and now I got the best of both worlds, which is what was the idea. Uh-oh, more people. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Hello. Hi, everybody.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, everybody.
Hello, folks. Hello. How are you?
Hey, man,
How you doing? Hi, guys.
Hello.
But is there a secret, though, for all of you to good parenting, whether it's been an experience with a parent or whether it's your experience as a parent?
If you are a parent, you know there's nobody knows. I think they've been writing books on parenting. I think in my business, I always feel like I'm coming up a little short. Like I'm either not there, I don't engage, I don't focus enough. I do the best I can and just hope I don't get arrested.
How does it feel to work on this historic lot in these stages?
Well, I for one love it. There's so many. I've had so many memories at the Disney lot. I just like being on lots. This is if you like the business of television and movies. There's nothing like being on it. It doesn't matter. It doesn't ever get old to me walking around here and seeing there's so much history here. You know, names that you recognize in buildings.
You had a successful run with Home Improvement. What's it like being on the Seinfeld stage?
Who?
What's it like?
Seinfeld.
I played ball with a guy called Seinfeld. Played third base for Commerce High School.
Remember?
Charlie Seinfeld.
I think it was an internet show. It was one of the.
Yeah, I remember that. It was a blogger show.
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
quite popular in the '60s. I remember.
Yeah, it was good. Amongst kids.
Yeah, kids liked it.
Kids liked it. It's good.
We've covered up the sign with a flat.
A
Big picture of Tim Allen.
Yeah, it was about a cat.
About a cat. Wasn't
It was a cat. Yeah, it was a large
Seinfeld.
cat. Yeah, I remember that. Seinfeld the cat.
Yeah. It was funny.
I got it now. You're Seinfeld.
Yeah, I see.
You had a chance to joke with Jerry about that?
No, actually, because it really came to it. There literally was a grip truck parked in front of there's a little hair salon there too, and it was parked there for quite a while. And then they pulled away. Are you kidding me? Number one, it's funny when you see having good memories of his show. Also, it's hard to believe. For some reason, I'm just like everybody. I thought it was filmed in New York. You know, it's funny how that this set has taken on our character now. So
Yeah. Filmed in my neighborhood, uptown, 111th Street.
Yeah.
And Broadway.
Doesn't it seem like that when you
Yeah,
look
hello,
at the?
where are we? Yeah. I've taken lots of photographs near the plaque. People say, it's a plaque, would you stand here? I have nothing to do with the show.
Right. You clearly have nothing to do with it.
Absolutely. Nothing to do with the Seinfeld
Has
show.
nothing to do with it.
It's a very popular plaque.
Right.
Tim, Mike seems to be very tech savvy, and your character seems to be very not tech savvy. Do you guys find that similar in your own lives, or are you different from that?
Well, he has a
can
flip
email.
phone.
Yeah.
He still has a flip phone.
I have a yellow memo pad. That's true. But I'm not a Luddite. I mean, I have, hot and cold running water. That I think.
And he has a Volt. We
I have a Volt.
We both have Chevy Volts, and quite against the press's better judgment, we both are very happy with him.
Oh, yes.
So he's very tech savvy. He actually gets better electric mileage than I do.
It's got a Nook. You got one of those Nooks?
Yeah, he's got an Amazon. Is that an Amazon Nook? No, is
No, I
it?
got Barnes and Noble.
Barnes and Noble Nook. But a flip phone. But I will say,
Flip phone.
tech savvy here.
Yeah, I got the things. I know how to use some stuff. I mean, not like Tim, but I mean.
Yeah, I just love this stuff. Anything that
Yeah.
plugs in. Phones. I've gotten so far past Android, iPhones, and I'm back to a flip phone. I'm looking. It's like it's funny. You buy antique flip phones online. There's a lot of us that collect them, and it's funny that it's something made in 2008 is an antique. Clearly, they're considered antiques.
My flip phone, not only is it a flip phone, I'll show you this. It has a cracked screen, and it's got a little yellow band Yeah, that I put on it myself, so it doesn't get lost in the car. So it's gone all the way back, and now it's starting, because I keep looking for it's black on black, right? But no, that's my flip phone, ladies and gentlemen.
I would have imagined
Honey,
you
babe,
in a muscle
soon to
car.
be.
Like, I would have imagined you not in a Volt, but in a muscle car.
Well, let's be perfectly honest. I have I drive the anti-Volt most of the time. A 612 horsepower Cadillac, so that, I love cars, so I drive the Volt because it's interesting, but it's like driving a Mac. It's you know, you're watching all the computers, and I like it, but I prefer a 6-speed, very fast, big Cadillac.
Tim, you were talking about the home improvement boys earlier. What's it like working with girls this time? 3 girls instead of 3 boys?
Well, you know, and I grew up with a huge family of boys. There were 7 of us, and I appreciate it, love it, but I got all girls too, and I really adore the baby girls especially. And as they grow, I got a 21-year-old, and I love women. So I actually prefer girls as a parent, because they disappoint at a different age. But they go through that. Dad's an idiot, and it lasts a little longer than I like. I have a 22-year-old now it's kind of extended. My older brother has girls too, and he says about 26 they come back, but from about 18, sometimes 16 on, they just think Dad is horrible, and that's a little painful.
We all disappoint at some point.
Yeah.
That just happens. I'm right at the end of it. They're starting to like me again.
Hector, you're surrounded by women on this set, though. What's it like to have, I mean, is it a good thing to have all the women around the set with you?
I prefer the opposite gender. I'm comfortable with ladies. Very old-fashioned guy.
Clearly. Yeah. Here we go. Take another shot at it. That's what it's got.
Comfortable with.
Well,
I think they're a better class of people for the most part. For the most part.
yeah, I happen to agree for the most part, but I have a women's staff and a lot of women here. And if you're around women long enough, you'll see that they have the cracks in their armor, just like being around boys all the time. Boys can be kind of disgusting. Can't leave us alone for any length of time, because we will burn something, blow something up, or paint something. We're just obnoxious. But
Women attack each other once in a while. That's the thing.
but women attack in a different way. They're emotional terrorists, I find. They go, I'll get you back.
But first, my nails.
Yeah.
The toolman was such an icon. Is being the outdoorsman just as natural for you?
You know, it was funny, and it was my design. I love this side of construction. Was my first love. I love anything, bridges. I love that whole trades. I love the trades. This is the whole other side of that. I grew up around hunters. I love guns and bows and arrows and compasses and binoculars. I don't do any of that stuff. I just like the stuff. I shot one animal in my life and I didn't like it. I don't think if I had to skin an animal to eat it, I'd probably eat vegetables. And I don't like fishing for that reason, because you yank them out of the water and then there they are. And
Gasping for breath.
Looking for oxygen, and I'm just going to take that away from them, because I don't know. I just like the stuff. I love this outdoor stuff, and I used to work at a store that we sold guns, ammo, and I'm really good at selling stuff. So I appreciate it. It literally, we've dealt with it on this show. The hunters in the Sierra Club, I believe that all the big game hunters tend to be really intense environmentalists. It doesn't make sense, but they are. People that hunt and use the outdoors tend to want to keep the outdoors the way they are. So it's a weird, strange dichotomy. The people that hunt are the guys that really protect and vehemently.
They're usually the caretakers.
Right, of the environment.
And ranchers too, very much.
Ranchers and outside. So you find that people that live there tend to want to keep it that way. And I've always loved that about the hunters that I've known. They eat what they kill, and they carry it out. They don't shoot for sport. They shoot, carry these big sheep out on their backs, and they gut them, and they eat them later. You know, that's what your deal is. But I always admired that. I love fishing gear and boats and outboard motors and all that. And I said, so this is just the flip side. It doesn't take a rocket science to see what I did here. I mean, just instead of 3 boys, it's 3 girls. Instead of tool time, I have that vlog, which we're just developing, where we get to do live ranting and what it is.
Speaking of the blog, you have your own journal on your own website. Do you feel having your own journal kind of helps you?
Yeah, I'm pretty different.
Blogging
Yeah, I'm pretty different. I can't. This is a character.
Yeah.
The stuff I do on my website is kind of serious, we befriended Mike Rowe, who played my brother on the show. It turns out he's got a website, and we're very kindred spirits about what we believe politically and socially. Very similar guys. Great respect for working people. A little trepidation about working people's organization being unions. I was a union guy, still am a union guy, but I said on my website, I admire working people, period. And and I think Rowe said it best, if we all we're fans of working people like we're fans of athletes and movie people, it would be a very different world if it would. As he said, if you don't care about how the water gets to your house and how the sewage leaves, and electricity gets to your house and how it leaves, you're an idiot. Because they build this world. There's people that put this all together, and I really admire that. That's why Tool Time came about. This is a different sensibility.
What are the TV shows that had an impact on you guys, either now or in the past? And why?
I love the Always Sunny in Philadelphia series. As far as comedy, I think they've kind of touched into something that's really cool. And I've just started watching the Frozen Planet, the new Discovery series, and that's so much death. It's amazing. It's really cool. So yeah, I mean, I don't know.
So much death. It's amazing.
It's amazing.
It's really.
They're just eating each other and just
That's
killing
the animal
each other.
world.
Yeah,
There's all
it's
these
so
fantasies
cool.
about
It's
how
all
nice the animal
digitalized.
world
Yeah.
is.
It's not real.
Yeah, I watch a lot of different stuff though.
Well, bear in mind, I have a flip phone with a yellow band on it, right? So, keeping that in mind, I loved Have Gun Will Travel, Richard Boone. I love that character, I love that time. And I love East Side, West Side with George C. Scott. And that goes back, remember, black and white. And of course, All in the Family was history making.
I'm kind of in between these worlds. I liked all the Newhart stuff.
All the Newhart, that was
I loved all that, Mary Tyler Moore, all that
stuff.
classic sitcoms that it was, what a great era. And that's what reminded me of how grateful I am to be in this business, movies and television, and how grateful I am to be in another hit. Newhart's the only guy I know, besides Cosby's done it. There have been very few people that have done what Newhart did, where he had 3 hits in a row, and he's still a hit to me. But I said that rarefied air, and I said I like the classic TV sitcoms, which again we've done our best to keep a live studio audience. Although I swear we almost have to remind people like they used to, filmed in front of a live studio audience at CBS, because even my mom goes, that laugh track sounds so in your face. I go, well, it's 250 people laughing. She goes, yeah, but it sounds like they're right there. I go, well, they are right there.
We walk up there and touch them, mother.
And they're not many. It isn't done so much anymore. And I said we've highlighted everything with Don Morgan and great lighting and all new technical stuff. So it is as upgraded as you can do a sitcom, but it's live sitcom. It's kind of mixed between. I love stand up. We have theater.
It's theater. It's lovely.
It's just wonderful.
Gives you a boost, and you get great rewards back. Everybody's up at the end of the show.
Right.
Yeah.
Kristen?
Talk about your audition process and what have you learned most from working with Hector?
I really lucked out because I know that the girls were here testing for the show for like a month, and I came in originally looking for a reoccurring role, and so I came in and I auditioned, and I think there was maybe 1 or 2 callbacks, and then the next week we started shooting, and so for me the pilot was really cool just because I mean getting to work with these guys, and this is kind of a new outlet for me as far as performance and being able to work with people that are so familiar with it and so talented that it made the whole process more of a learning experience than anything that I had expected. And then finding out that they wanted me to come back for more episodes was thrilling, and I couldn't ask for a better group of people to work with.
He has us confused with someone else.
I was going to say.
This is Whitney, right?
This is Whitney, right?
People teaching him. He's a kid.
What he's talking about. I just go, wow, that sounds remarkable. Where do you work? I'd like to work there.
Kip, you mentioned stand-up a minute ago. Was stand-up a means to an end for you, or do you still think about it? Or?
Still do it. I'm in Venetian all year. This is the second year at the showroom at the Venetian, and I'd still pop into various clubs in Los Angeles to warm up. I don't know why I ever got away from it. I love doing it. It's the same stress as it was when I did it 30 years ago, waiting in line with other comics. But now I'm like the big cheese. I'm the guy I hate. You know, you got regular guys at comedy clubs. I show up, they go, oh, Sahib's here, put him on. And then, guys that wait in line. I'm exactly who I hate. When I was a young comic, who does he think he is? Well, I'm now who's he think he is.
Well, what kind of pressure is that, being the big cheese, or do you get more of a pass because you've been...
I get a pass. There's definitely a pass, but at the end of the 5-minute pass, if you're not funny, people are going to be shifting in their seats and going to the bathroom. So there's the same. I get a little bit. I can get up there and do a question and answer for 20 minutes. What's your favorite episode? I'll tell you. I can talk about Buzz Lightyear and all that stuff for any length of time. But eventually, when I first started, this was 2.5 years ago, I rebooted. I did some big concerts and fell on my face. Personally, the crowd still got a show because I did some old stuff. But it's taken me probably 18 months of hard work to get it right back up to a level that you can come see in Vegas.
What does that do? What does it do? How does it change your game for something like a sitcom?
I figure I know it's hard to. I get around he'll deflect it, but he's a very substantial actor because this is a profession. I've been around great actors, and there's something smoking hot about working with them because they sustain I don't know how to describe acting. From a comedy point of view, stand-up keeps me razor sharp so I can ad-lib. That's why they hire me, is that I can add value to a scene that's a little flat or do a facial gesture or whatever. And that's what comedy been. It's been wonderful. It's been stressful because I've got a family and I'm on the road again, and I don't want to do this anymore where I'm on the road. I was on the road a lot when I was young, and I don't want to do that. So I do Vegas, which I really feel like I need a sequin suit. I mean, it's Vegas. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, it's not my gig, but I do love it. I like the Venetian. They've been real good to me. So I'm going to continue doing this twice a month and then pop around here. It just keeps me sharp, keeps my motor running.
I'm glad there's still those Toy Story shorts they do are great. Are they doing any more of those?
This is like working with the CIA, Pixar and Disney. They really don't want me to say anything, but, to talk to Hanks, he seems to get away with whatever he wants to say because no one ever messes with Tom or Woody. Disney just would prefer I don't talk about Toy Story because I think they've got big surprises coming. And they want to manage it because they don't want expectation. It takes a long time to put these together, both the shorts and the big ones, and they don't want to get everybody. They time their own deals. But I said I don't. I remember all I can say is that the shorts are doing very well, but the last gasp for that movie series was that little girl. We were supposed to be waving on the porch. It was so sad, even all of us that do it. And then that little girl came from behind her mom's leg and said, and it looked like she was going to take care of the toys. And the audience went, well, why doesn't she just take care of them? And Pixar felt it, so did Disney. All of us did. God, maybe that girl, that this wouldn't be the end of this thing. And I said, that's where it's sitting right now.
Yeah. Going back to the show, I have someone on Facebook that's asking about. They want to know why the show doesn't include the kid more. It's kind of weird that he's not there as much.
Whoa.
He got a job, I think.
He's got another job. I think he's on, what's the one with the
Dexter?
Dexter. He's actually, we share him with Dexter. He's not the mass murderer, but he plays a mass murdering infant.
Yeah.
A serial killer.
Day school, doesn't he?
He's actually quite in demand, and so we get him when we can. And it's one of those things that, you all of a sudden get an episode and he is in his nap or he's upstairs, and and the logistics of bringing a child on the set is incredibly difficult because he's only got a short time frame, and his attention span is literally shorter than mine. And that's kind of what it is. You got to They got to manage each person's story time, and it's Christoph has become a major player because he's good, and Hector in my story bloomed into something else, and then the older daughter, who is the mother of Boyd in the story, she's got her own story, and all of a sudden, I don't know how they manage it, but Boyd's story takes on so much weight that it takes, managers and people in there, and it's really logistically, they want to get the show launched. We all ask the same question. Our old joke is anybody watching him? Like, if we're in the world of where is the kid now? And I said, so it's a great question, and it's really it's a management situation, trying to manage his time as best as possible.
Or he's raised by wolves and will come back as the wild child.
Right.
With all those storylines going on, can you talk a little bit about Bud? Now he's going to be joining in the action, right?
Yes. Well, who knew that, and he came in and as another veteran actor who was, I kind of want to do this he wanted to know what this was like to do he never done a sitcom. And I think he was both startled, surprised, and fatigued at the same time, because as these veterans, we don't have a script until showtime, because it keeps changing. I remember one story, Ernest Borgnine came on Home Improvement, and he, like an actor, he studied his lines, and we did it on this at that point Monday through Friday, and then Tuesday he had a new script, and he said, "Wow, few changes." I said, wait till you get to Friday. And he goes, "When do you memorize this?" I said, "Well, I kind of memorize each day because you'll get it." And he said, "I hope they pay you a lot of money," because he said it was too much for. He said, McHale's Navy, he was done like a film. There's the script, and then you do over and over, and you're done. And he said, "Not this." I think my dad's character he's an actor, and when he gets into that mode, it's wonderful to be around these guys that have done that business, theater and acting, and where they sustain emotion, and they're not used to flipping around. But I think he likes it. At least he says. Oh yeah.
Well, Hector, was there a period of adjustment for you to get used to that hurry up and change thing?
I've done this before. I've done a lot of sitcoms before.
He was an astronaut. Jeez, this guy's done everything. He's 111.
Speaking of your career, Hector.
I'm older than Truman, right?
Yeah, you went to grade school with Truman.
Speaking of career, Hector, is there any one actor that you would like to really work with that you've never had the chance? And any thought of bringing Rita Moreno in as like an ex-wife on the show?
No thought of that. We haven't talked to that. That I'd like to work with? I think they're all gone. It's a long list. It's a long list of people, and I'm sure we will consider many options.
Have you guys found places in Studio City outside the lot that you like to go?
For strip clubs? What do you mean? Go right away to strip clubs.
Places to eat or shop.
Well, one of the bonuses about working here is that you can walk right outside. You don't need to be gym. There's a neighborhood there. I mean, it's
nothing
terrific.
like this.
It's terrific. This particular lot is wonderful. It's people-sized and it's accessible, so I dig it.
Yeah, there's restaurants all around. I live close to here. I could actually ride a bike. This is it's the most amazing experience. Grateful. That's all I think is that I can get here in 11 minutes. And if I really pushed it, I could get that down to 9. It depends on traffic. But there's pizza, there's sushi, there's hamburgers.
You get your shoes fixed over here. You get
in the caddy or the vault.
Well, I said this is my shop is close to here also, and this is the first time I've been able to. I've got hot rods that I can't really drive that much because they're just troublesome. I'm getting old. I like cup holders and GPS. I got to be honest. I like XM radio, and I got some of these hot rods. I go, what am I going to do? Can't park them anywhere, and literally they're more dangerous than a motorcycle.
Where do you put your elbows?
No place. I said, I just am getting to the point where I kind of like the comfort of the new cars. I have new cars that drive better than any. I built probably 16 hot rods, and they're all eclectic cars, and then I'm just a little whiner.
I'm curious, because it's an outdoor, the idea of it being an outdoor store, what do you guys do in the out of doors? What kind of things do you get yourself involved with?
Wow.
Within the story, you mean?
No, in real life.
Personally?
Yeah.
Well, I love wilderness. I loved being out there. I did a lot of backpacking, my goodness, in the 70s when I had a back and I had knees. Remember those days? My wife and I both, so we spent a lot of time up there. My first taste of that really was doing part of the Appalachian Trail and going up to Mount Katahdin in Maine before I knew better. My first experience with moose was wonderful. So I love being out there.
Yeah, and I'm a boater, so I like being on lakes. I have a boat in Michigan, I've had for years and years, of Upper Michigan. And then when I went to YMCA camp in Colorado, before I moved from Colorado when I was a boy, there's this lake, the headwater of the Colorado River. And it's a little town in Upper Colorado, and I have a cabin there. But I'm one of these guys that, I despoil the environment. I'm one of these guys. I like ATVs and snowmobiles, and I have a motorcycle up there, and I just like cruising through the hills. I camped all my life with my brother as a rock climber. I know how to do that, but I prefer, a cabin, and then walk down by the lake and go to a cup of coffee. I like being outdoors, and I love the mountains. I love the mountains.
I love the amenities afterwards. Just give me a nice hotel after a
Yeah,
hardy outside. Thank you.
Walk a couple minutes and then sit down in a hotel. Yeah, what's the problem with that?
And my wife is a whitewater rafter. She did that for many years. I mean, she was a champion of whitewater rafter. As a matter of fact, she did a class 10. She did Lava Falls in the Grand Canyon and solo. So, and she's a little tiny little old lady now.
But she can kick his ass, which is good. I've seen it several times.
We don't speak of this. We promise we will.
Sorry.
She's a Campbell. She's a Scots. She's tough.
I grew up in the Blue Ridge Mountains, and so all the stuff we do on the show, I grew up doing, and I'm a Boy Scout and all that kind of stuff. So it's been a blast since moving from here to here. It's it kind of getting to go through all of it again, kind of fake inside, has been a blast because it's reminded me of all the stuff I used to do and still enjoy doing. When I go back to North Carolina. So,
is it fun sort of playing a novice on the show?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's really cool. I mean, the other week we had, I think the episodes you all watched with the archery and all that kind of stuff. I mean, having someone, we had people come in and teach us how to do stuff and
scare us.
And scare us. But it was
I lost the arrow at one point. He shot it right up at the ceiling. I'm the one that saw it go.
We milked that moment for a week.
I know.
But yeah, it's a blast to kind of go back through it all again and get to do it here in Los Angeles.
Time for one more question.
They're stuttered. We're so bored. We're so bored with this group.
Christoph, what advice has Hector, working with Hector and Tim, what advice did they give you that helped you with your craft?
I think more than anything, it's been the pursuit of the timing, which is something that changes with every outlet, and that's been something that's so different. Tim was talking about with the stand-up and keeping all that sharp. That's something that is kind of new for me, and I think that's been the biggest help that they've given me is help with timing and delivery.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you guys very much.
Thank you so much.
I'm taking this with me because it looks cool.